How to travel like a local, 8 secrets to authentic cultural immersion intro. Hey there, wanderers. Welcome back to Culture Compass. I'm Sarah, and today we're diving into something that completely transformed how I experience new destinations, the art of blending in with locals rather than standing out like a typical tourist. Now, don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing shameful about being a tourist. Tourism drives economies, supports communities, and creates incredible connections between cultures. But after years of traveling to over 40 countries, I've discovered that the most memorable, meaningful, and transformative experiences happen when you step outside the tourist bubble and connect with places on a deeper, more authentic level. Think about it this way: imagine someone visited your hometown and only went to the most obvious tourist attractions, ate at chain restaurants, and never ventured into the neighborhoods where you actually live and work. They'd leave thinking they understood your city, but they'd have missed the soul of the place entirely. Today, I'm sharing 8 game-changing strategies that have helped me experience destinations through local eyes, form genuine connections with people from different cultures, and discover hidden gems that most visitors never encounter. These aren't about pretending to be someone you're not, they're about showing respect, curiosity, and genuine interest in the places you visit. Strategy 1. Master the art of linguistic connection. Let's start with something that seems obvious, but makes an enormous difference: learning the local language. Now, before you panic thinking you need to become fluent before every trip, let me be clear, you don't need to master complex grammar or hold philosophical discussions. What you need is to show effort and respect through basic communication. The magic happens with just a handful of essential phrases. Start with the fundamentals that demonstrate courtesy, greetings, expressions of gratitude, polite requests, and basic questions. But here's where most travelers go wrong: they memorize these phrases without understanding the cultural context or proper pronunciation. Pronunciation can completely change how your efforts are received. Take Spanish, for example. In most of Latin America, if you want to visit Barcelona, you'd pronounce it Barcelona with a soft sound. But in Spain, that C becomes a sound, Barcelona. Getting this right immediately signals to locals that you've done your homework and respect their regional identity. Regional vocabulary differences can lead to hilarious misunderstandings if you're not prepared. I learned this lesson in Colombia when I confidently ordered un tinto expecting red wine, only to receive a small cup of black coffee. In Spain, tinto means red wine, but in Colombia, it's their term for coffee. The server found my confusion charming, and we ended up having a wonderful conversation about regional language differences. Here's a pro tip that has opened countless doors for me: don't be afraid to ask locals for help with pronunciation and vocabulary. Most people are incredibly patient and appreciative when they see you making a genuine effort. I've found that asking "how do you say this correctly?" or "what's the local way to say this?" often leads to impromptu language lessons that turn into friendships. The key is approaching language learning with humility and humor. You will make mistakes. I once accidentally told a restaurant server in Italy that I was pregnant instead of embarrassed, but those moments of vulnerability often create the most authentic connections. Strategy 2. Decode the dining mysteries. Food culture reveals the heart of any destination, but dining customs vary dramatically worldwide, and getting them wrong can mark you as an outsider immediately. The secret is researching and observing local dining etiquette before you even sit down for your first meal. Tipping culture alone can completely change your restaurant experience. While Americans typically tip 15 to 20%, attempting to tip in Japan can actually cause offense and confusion. Japanese service culture is built on the principle that excellent service is standard, not something requiring additional payment. I watched a confused tourist chase their server around a Tokyo restaurant trying to leave a tip, creating an awkward situation that could have been avoided with simple research. Eating customs extend far beyond payment practices. In many parts of India, East Africa, and the Middle East, eating with your hands isn't just acceptable, it's preferred and considered more respectful to the food. However, there are specific techniques and etiquette rules. You typically use only your right hand, and there are particular ways to approach different types of dishes. European dining culture operates on an entirely different timeline than North American expectations. In France, Spain, or Italy, rushing through a meal is considered rude and uncultured. Dinners are social events meant to be savored over hours, with multiple courses and extensive conversation. Asking for the check immediately after finishing your last bite signals that you view the meal as fuel rather than experience. Street food presents another layer of cultural navigation. In some countries, eating while walking is perfectly normal, while in others, it's considered disrespectful. In Japan, consuming food or drinks while walking or on public transportation is generally frowned upon, even though you'll see convenience stores everywhere. The best approach is to observe before participating. Spend a few minutes watching how locals interact with servers, how they pace their meals, and what behaviors seem normal versus unusual. This observation period will save you from cultural missteps and help you enjoy your dining experiences more fully. Strategy 3. Become a local news detective. One of the most overlooked ways to connect with local culture is understanding current events, recent history, and ongoing social conversations in your destination. This goes far beyond checking weather forecasts. It's about understanding the context that shapes daily life for the people you're meeting. Local newspapers, news websites, and even social media conversations provide incredible insight into what matters to residents. Are there ongoing political discussions? Economic challenges? Cultural celebrations approaching? Recent achievements or tragedies that have affected the community? This knowledge transforms you from an oblivious outsider to someone who understands the backdrop of local life. Understanding current events also has practical benefits for your travel experience. Strikes, protests, festivals, and elections can dramatically impact transportation, accommodation availability, and even safety considerations. I once arrived in Barcelona during a major independence referendum, and understanding the political tension helped me navigate the city respectfully while avoiding disrupted areas. Beyond logistics, current events knowledge creates opportunities for meaningful conversations. When I could discuss recent archaeological discoveries with my guide in Peru, or acknowledge a local team's recent sports victory in Brazil, these small demonstrations of awareness open doors to deeper cultural exchanges. The key is approaching these topics with genuine curiosity rather than judgment. You're not there to solve local problems or offer outsider perspectives on complex issues. You're there to understand and learn from people whose experiences differ from your own. Strategy 4. Support the local ecosystem. Where you spend your money makes a powerful statement about your values and directly impacts the communities you're visiting. Choosing local businesses over international chains isn't just about authenticity, it's about ensuring your tourism dollars support the people and culture you're there to experience. Family-run restaurants offer more than just meals. They provide cultural education, personal connections, and often the most authentic flavors you'll encounter. The grandmother cooking in the back kitchen has probably been perfecting her recipes for decades, using techniques and ingredients that reflect generations of local tradition. Local markets present incredible opportunities for cultural immersion. Street vendors and market stalls offer regional specialties, artisan crafts, and the chance to practice your language skills in low-pressure environments. The haggling process itself is often a cultural dance with its own rules and expectations. Research shows that small, independent businesses recirculate money through local communities at much higher rates than chain establishments. When you buy from a local artisan, that money supports their family, pays local suppliers, and contributes to neighborhood economic health. Your tourism dollars become community investment rather than corporate profit extraction. Some of my most treasured travel memories involve learning traditional crafts from local artisans, discovering family recipes in tiny restaurants, or finding unique products that tell the story of a place. These experiences are impossible to replicate in chain establishments designed for mass appeal rather than cultural authenticity. Strategy 5. Disconnect to reconnect. Modern travel often becomes a performance for social media rather than genuine experience. The constant pressure to document every moment for online sharing can prevent you from actually living those moments fully. More importantly, if you want to blend in with locals, consider how often residents of your destination are photographing their daily routines. Digital wellness experts emphasize that screen time during travel often displaces richer, more meaningful experiences. When you're viewing your surroundings through a phone camera, you're literally creating a barrier between yourself and the environment you've traveled thousands of miles to experience. This doesn't mean never taking photos, it means being intentional about when and how you document your experiences. Take a few thoughtful shots, Then put the device away and engage with your surroundings using all your senses. Notice the sounds, smells, textures, and energy that no camera can capture. Local residents aren't constantly photographing their neighborhood cafe or daily commute. They're present, engaged, and focused on their actual experiences rather than their digital representation of those experiences. Adopting this approach will immediately make you seem less like a tourist and more like someone genuinely interested in the place you're visiting. Strategy 6. Navigate like a native. Public transportation offers an unfiltered window into daily local life while providing practical benefits like cost savings and environmental consciousness. Tourist transportation options like taxis and ride-sharing services insulate you from the authentic rhythms and interactions of local communities. Every city's public transportation system reflects local culture, social norms, and urban planning philosophy. The Tokyo subway system's efficiency and silence showcase Japanese values of punctuality and consideration. The London Underground's organized queuing demonstrates British social etiquette. Mexico City's vibrant metro art installations reveal the culture's emphasis on public creativity and accessibility. Learning to navigate public transportation often requires asking for help, reading local signage, and observing social behaviors, all activities that naturally integrate you into local daily routines. The brief interactions with fellow passengers, the rhythm of rush hour crowds, and the glimpses into residential neighborhoods provide cultural education that no tour bus can offer. Many cities offer tourist transportation passes that provide excellent value while encouraging exploration of different neighborhoods. These passes remove the mental barrier of calculating individual trip costs, encouraging you to venture beyond central tourist areas into authentic local districts. Strategy 7. Live beyond the postcard. Tourist accommodation concentrated in heavily visited areas might offer convenience, but it often insulates you from authentic local life. Staying in purely tourist-focused districts means your daily routine revolves around other visitors, rather than residents, limiting your opportunities for genuine cultural immersion. Consider neighborhoods that offer proximity to tourist attractions without being completely dominated by them. These areas often provide better value, more authentic dining options, and opportunities to observe actual local life rather than the performance that tourism districts often become. In London, areas like Notting Hill, Shoreditch offer cultural richness and local character while maintaining excellent connectivity to major attractions. In Paris, neighborhoods like Le Marais or Belleville provide authentic Parisian experiences without the overwhelming tourist crowds of areas surrounding major landmarks. Living in residential areas means grocery shopping where locals shop, using neighborhood cafes where residents work and socialize, and navigating daily routines that reflect actual city life rather than curated tourist experiences. Strategy 8. Embrace adaptive curiosity. The final and perhaps most important strategy is approaching new cultures with genuine curiosity rather than judgment or comparison. Every cultural difference represents an opportunity to learn alternative approaches to life, work, relationships, and community organization. Cultural adaptation requires releasing attachment to how things are done back home and embracing different rhythms, priorities, and social norms. When shops close for afternoon siestas in Spain, this isn't an inconvenience, it's a cultural value that prioritizes rest, family time, and work-life balance over constant commercial availability. Flexibility and openness create space for unexpected discoveries and connections. Some of my most meaningful travel experiences happened when I abandoned my planned schedule to participate in spontaneous local events, follow recommendations from new acquaintances, or simply adapt to different cultural rhythms. The goal isn't to become a perfect cultural chameleon, it's to approach differences with respect, curiosity, and willingness to step outside your comfort zone. This mindset transforms travel from consumption to genuine cultural exchange. Conclusion: blending in with locals isn't about losing your identity or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about approaching travel with respect, curiosity, and genuine interest in understanding different ways of life. When you make the effort to connect authentically with places and people, you don't just visit destinations, you experience them. These 8 strategies have consistently led me to my most memorable travel experiences, deepest cultural insights, and lasting international friendships. The goal isn't perfection, it's authentic engagement with the incredible diversity of human culture and experience. Remember that every mistake, awkward moment, and cultural misunderstanding is part of the learning process. Locals appreciate genuine effort and curiosity far more than perfect execution. The willingness to step outside tourist comfort zones and engage with authentic local life is what transforms travel from sightseeing into genuine cultural education. What strategies have helped you connect with local cultures during your travels? Share your experiences in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more authentic travel insights and cultural exploration tips. Until next time, travel curiously and connect authentically.